This is the most important part of the show where Marcus does the sound check. Marcus?
Checkmate King 2. This is White Rook, over.
We got you. We got you. We still in delay here. Okay, here we go. Right, there now we got the official.
Yeah, it's
start going. We're live here. So we're going to count down 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of DroneNation for 5/16/2022. And this show is dedicated to Tom Petty. The waiting is the hardest part. And you're going to understand that reference in a few minutes. I got a couple quick show notes that aren't on the agenda here that I want to get in real fast. The DJI Fly app got an update to 1.6.1, and it adds the Mini 3 in there now. You can choose the Mini 3, so maybe that indicates the Mini 3 is closer to coming out. But also added raw photos to the smart photo option in the app. It's a little bit inside baseball, but Johnny's showing you right on the screen here. You know,
I didn't update yet, Ron.
You can choose that app. So that's a little bit of information. We may talk about this later in the show, but
that Android, Marcus.
And Marcus, before we get into this stuff, this is an agenda too. Marcus, can you give me a short little synopsis of your communication with Autel about your recent video and the response to your sensor issue?
Yeah, so I know there's a ton of talk about Autel now and their customer service department and you know, Ken Booth leaving and some other things there. And you probably have that for later on in the show.
Yeah. We'll circle back to that later.
Yeah, circle back to that. However, I heard from a lady named Gloria, and she is in the part of the marketing team of Autel Robotics. Those are her words precisely. They saw my last email, that email that I just posted the other day about the firmware update with the Nano Plus. And if you saw that, you saw I really struggled with the obstacle avoidance on it. The downward sensor is messed up, and it would catch false positives even up in the air. Wouldn't go forward, wouldn't go backwards in instances when it had nothing in front of it, etc. So she gave me a link to some experimental version of the app, and then but let me tell you, she was very specific about not spreading that around, so I will not. She also said, do not load it on your iPhone. It's an iOS only, I should have said. She said, do not load it on your regular phone because it'll, you know, you don't want to replace the stock app that's on there. So I'm going to take my little iPad Mini 6. I'm going to load that experimental app on there and try it out. And she seems to think that, she said their engineers have assured her that that should resolve those issues with the obstacle avoidance system. So I'm very anxious to try that out. That really is kind of I would say probably the single remaining issue that I have with that drone. And I want to add that this one is the original red one that I bought that has the gimbal dampeners that are the old style, not the new style. But they seem to have cured whatever the issues were with jello or anything in the video, because I simply do not see that anymore. So it seems to be working well. And so anyway, I'm anxious to try it out. And see how it goes.
Thanks for that quick update. I wanted to get that out and take this so we can get back to it again. Okay, folks, we have a little bit of a show change here. If people saw the original show notes, Matt Conduff was supposed to be one of the big guests tonight, but he was unable to make it. So DroneNation MVP Johnnie DroneFlyer came off the bench, and he's now hitting cleanup tonight in the show. So thank you, Johnny. And also our secret special guest, we should have did a big reveal, but he's already sitting here, is Brian Singleton from TDR Drones here. So I was going to have a contest. If you could guess the secret guest, you'd win something free, but we'll have to say that for another episode. Of course, DeMarco Moore is with us tonight. He's maybe tad bit under the weather tonight, but he's he's doing his yeoman job, holding down the co-hosting spot here. So
Want me to flex run? You want me to flex?
Well, we don't want to get the women going too crazy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Rose is in there. They got to stay calm or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. So anyhow, we got a big show tonight. So let's just jump into it tonight. Story number one. Okay, the DJI Mini 3 Pro was released last week to much fanfare on last Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. And all the usual big YouTube channels had their review videos up that day, sometimes just a few minutes later. And everyone seemed to like the drone. It was almost all positive, but the regular drone pilots who placed their orders through DJI and other leading retailers that day are seeing unusually long shipping times for their drones to arrive. I mean, some people get June shipping time, some people get July, some people all the way back to even August. And a lot of customers out there, aren't very happy about it. And I know Brian Singleton, I was in communication with him the whole time. And by the time he got to the site, you saw some of that back ordering, did you, Brian?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I was there 2 minutes after 9 and I couldn't get one.
Yeah. Brian, listen, everybody knows that you got to be there 10 minutes before they do the official.
But I did go 15 minutes before and it was nothing. And then I think I was actually there 10 minutes before and it was nothing. So I waited to exactly 9. And by the time I sat down and turned it on, and it was probably 2 minutes after 9, it was nothing.
I mean, we timed it, Brian. It was 8:52. When exactly 8:52 when it went live,
and I got my order in at 8:54, and I mean it was what Brian, I didn't even look anything over. I just click.
Right.
Boom.
That's what I did with because I think I was the first one to ever get the original Air 2. I was there I was the first one to ever get that damn thing.
You were first in line.
Right. So, I mean, I got it. We were on the show. I think the show was going, and I jumped off of the show to go order it because it came online at 9 o'clock on a Monday night. And
I think we all did that night. That was a great one. That was fun.
Yeah.
That
was the biggest DroneNation show we ever had.
Huh?
That was the biggest DroneNation show we ever had. It has 100 times the views a normal show gets that night.
Yeah, because everybody was out looking around to get that because they released it at that time of night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, So, you had everybody already online. So they popped in here to see who was getting it, who wasn't, and all this mumbo jumbo. But I know I got mine, So, it is.
Well, now this time, though, you have a good story. When you couldn't get the Mini 3 Pro because of the long wait time, you pivoted and got another little mini drone, didn't you?
Yeah, I just went and got this one, the Autel.
The Nano Plus
with
the nighttime camera.
Yeah, in my first flight, it did not fall in the ocean. It did not.
Or in your case, that river. What's that river called you always fly
That's the Youghiogheny River. Yeah. So anyway, I just flew it for a couple of feet. It flew okay. The update took forever. I mean,
really?
It took at least 25 minutes. As a matter of fact, I was so worried about that thing melting that while it was, the fan was humming like crazy. So what I did was I got this can of this compressed air, okay, and I picked it up and I was shooting the air into the vents to try to keep it cool while it was doing the update.
Hey Brian, do you have multiple batteries or just one?
I just got the one.
That's good. That's good. Then I won't burden you with what happens when you have multiple batteries.
Okay, good. Because I might not even get any more batteries.
Yeah.
So
Brian will toss some extra batteries over his shoulders,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. These things, I think they're claiming like 30 minutes flight time.
Not even close.
No? Okay.
Not even.
I would say it's more in the 18 to 21 minute range.
Okay, that's about as much as I like to fly one bird at one time anyway.
Yeah.
I get bored after that. Because usually when I go to shoot a video, I know what I want to do. And when I get done doing that, I'm done making the video. I don't just fly it around to burn the battery out. I just wrap it up. And usually the point of interest of what I want to do doesn't take 20 minutes of flying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, for the most part.
If they're saying 31 and you're getting 18, that's
I mean, I've gotten maybe 23 minutes, but I mean, you're
On
not
a
going to
good
get.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
The battery life on the thing is just not.
Especially if you're in ludicrous mode, you may not get that. If you're in smooth mode, well, that 18 minutes going to feel like 40 minutes because it is definitely a lot slower, you know.
But I totally agree with you, Brian. That's typically on a drone like that. That's all you want to fly anyway. So it's no big deal.
I mean, I got 2 batteries for my FPV Mini. I've got 2 batteries for the Xeno Mini because, I'm going to all minis. I'm getting rid of everything else. I'm going to go all, except for like the V-copter.
What about the power egg?
The power egg will eventually go. Okay. Because what's going to happen is the power egg battery is going to eventually die and you will never be able to get another one. So it'll just go in the garbage.
Oh, I just thought about something else, Brian, the Inspire. Come on, you just bought that Inspire.
I won't get rid of that. When I say all minis, I mean for the most part.
Yeah.
All minis. I've sold off and got my Karma took a crap. It just quit.
No.
It just quit. I think the main board just shorted out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. It just completely just died. Now I've been looking for a shell only, but if I can't find that, I'll just take the whole thing and throw it in the trash. It's just not worth, pouring a bunch of money into something like that. It's just not,
Yeah. Okay, well, listen. Let's get back to the original gist of number one here. Okay, so the Mini 3 Pro is going to be delivered late for a lot of people. Now, the Drone DJ article that just popped up today said that number one, they were saying the only one that you have a chance to come on time is buying the drone and the DJI RC. If you ordered the standard controller or no controller at all, they're the ones that are coming in July and August or whatever.
Right.
So if you order that combo, I just said you got a chance of getting it. I think by the end of May. I can't remember if they said you get it by the end of May or it ships by the end of May.
So you're saying the expensive one will come first, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Way first. I mean, like months ahead first.
Right.
Hey, the other thing,
as it should be. You pay the money, you're going to get it. That's the way free enterprise works, brother. Yeah.
well, the other thing that you have to consider is if you ordered a Flymore package and that Flymore package is not ready at the same time the drone is, they're going to wait till it's all ready to put it in the same box. So that could delay your order as well. And I believe that they even had a little dialogue box that said that when you were ordering. So what I kind of regretted doing was I wish that I had ordered the drone on one order and then ordered that Flymore kit on another order instead of putting them together on the same order.
And I luckily I could not get the Flymore kit that morning. It sold out too fast. But I later in the week it was available again. I did order, and that's got a shipping time of mid July.
Mid-July.
Mid-July, really.
Mid-July of 2023. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So in other words, it's going to ship at Hubsan speed, DeMarco.
No, the V-copter.
You got it.
Yeah.
Hey, who all got one too?
I want to shoot in here and say one thing real quick that I found out about this Nano before we go on to the next subject. Now, somebody would just mention something about the POS Karma. Yeah. The only thing that Karma did that I liked, it had one feature that no other drones would do. You could literally fly that thing an inch off of the ground. Okay. So you could get that like really crazy shot of being just like an inch off the ground.
Oh, wow.
Because the Karma didn't automatically land. You know how like these DJI drones, it'll come down only so far. And then if you go down lower, it'll land. But this thing, you can fly this thing inches off the ground. I did it yesterday. It was like this high off the ground. So I even said in my video when I was flying it like this high off the ground, I said, well, I don't even need that Karma no more.
Well, the Nano will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I was going to say if that was the Karma, well, no wonder you broke it, Brian.
No, I didn't crash it. It just the main board.
Yes.
It just shorted, so it won't knack with the controller or do anything.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, quick update from the chats here. Lon's saying the ship date has been May 31st for pretty much anyone. So ship date, not arrival date. Ship date, May 31st.
Lauren's saying mid-June.
Who said mid-June?
Lauren.
Oh, Lauren.
Yeah.
I
look.
didn't see
Did she get hers?
I was saying with Lauren. I didn't see that, but
I got it here. North America delivers
okay, mid-June.
June.
Hey, Ron, Melanie emailed me today, and she did get a shipping date for hers. Let me find that email.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see. Shipping date. Yeah, May 26th.
Shipping date.
Her shipping date. She's
Okay.
and they emailed her and told her that. So
If y'all checked today, I'm sure y'all have, right? I hadn't pulled it
mine
down.
still says that. Mine hasn't changed since the day I put the order in.
yeah, nor has mine.
I'm gonna pull it up right now just to see.
I haven't checked mine either.
Yeah, it's because you're too busy killing mosquitoes.
Yeah, mine says two.
I hit the buy button.
Oh, you did that morning. That morning or later?
It was 9:58.
Wait. What did he say?
Hold it. This is the scoop of the day right here. Everybody listen up.
Hold the presses.
Hold the presses. This is the scoop.
Let me turn it down.
So start over, DeMarco.
I hit the buy button. I did.
Send that man a free DroneNation T-shirt.
DeMarco, did Uncle Kevin order it too? You said
He did order it. He did. I think he got it the next day, but he got it from Best Buy.
So the countdown starts now to see who's the first person that actually paid for the drone gets theirs.
Well, that would be
we've already paid for it, so
well, that would be Eddie Nunez. Eddie Nunez.
Yeah, but that's because he did Best Buy.
Well, yeah, I understand. He just walked into Best Buy and bought it.
Yeah. Now, Johnny, should we give DJI kind of a hard time? Didn't we do this last summer where you complained that Hubsan took our money and sat on it for months?
Well, I totally agree with you. DJI appears to be doing making a similar move.
If your drones come in August, you pretty much did a GoFundMe.
That's essentially it. Yeah, I can tell you it's already hit my credit card. How about yours, Ron?
I didn't even check, but probably.
Yeah.
Mine came out of my PayPal, so yes, it's done.
Yeah.
Ron's not worried about his money. He's like, I ain't check.
Yeah.
Brian says that's only another scooter. That's all.
My credit card or gold bullion.
I paid for it with crypto, DeMarco.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He probably just cashed in some of his Dogecoin.
A few bitcoins there,
Ron, you might get a prop if you did that right now.
Anyhow, just we don't want to make a big deal about the story. Just we don't. But if you go anywhere online, you look at YouTube comments, Facebook groups comments, whatever. Everybody's talking about this. It's a hot topic. Whether I know people in the chat say it's not delayed and whatever, and I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just saying that people are talking about it and people aren't happy. And I don't understand people, customers, paying customers. If you're a big company, no matter how big you are, it's always a good idea to keep the paying customers satisfied.
The only thing I say is, listen, if we'd ordered it last Tuesday and they said it's coming June the 13th, well, I'd have been fine with that. Just, let us know. And I understand. It wasn't a pre-order. And listen, it seems like so many reviewers got it. So the drone is out there. Now, maybe, I'm like Marcus, maybe they haven't, trying to get the Flymore stuff together and stuff like that. So who knows?
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys saying that they kind of led you to believe that when you ordered them, they were going to ship them the next day? Is that what you were kind of under the impression? Is that the impression they gave everybody?
They didn't say it wasn't going to be.
That would be my expectation.
That's what they did with all these other ones, right? When I ordered the 2S, the Air 2, I mean, it was here like in a day or two.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, I don't mind. You know what? I'm late shipping. If a company gives you the timeline, like the Johnny just said, if they say 2-3 weeks or whatever, fine.
Right.
But tell me something. Don't just take money and not say anything.
Right.
You know.
Like
Brian, you remember old school before there was the internet. When you would order something on the phone, what was the standard shipping time? They'd always tell you, "Oh, it'll be there in a week to 10 days."
Right.
So I mean, but we don't have this here. We didn't get anything. You know, we just hey here's your money. You know, drone will get there when it gets there.
Right.
So
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then here too, because what Johnny said, I'm sure people will cancel, but there's 5 or 6 people waiting in line.
Right. Somebody already said if you cancel, go ahead and cancel because that moves me further up in the line.
Yeah.
Ron, too. And what happens though is now the Mini 4 comes out, and now like we're all going to be like, you know, should I wait or should I get it now? Or I mean, yeah. Next one seems like they didn't say anything.
Marcus, a question I have for you: if people were kind of on the fence of buying the Nano, which you're holding in your hand, and the Mini 3, I mean, would that maybe, you know, would they maybe swap over and buy that? You know,
Not for my money. Mini 3.
Yeah.
Oh wait, see.
Well, it's coming. And look, and like Marcus said, no matter how long you wait, when you get it, you'll forget about all that time you waited. You know.
So let me say, Johnny, I think I need to be totally fair with that statement. Everybody saw all the grief that I went through with this drone, so I have to say that colored my opinion somewhat. But the one thing that you can't deny is that when they first introduced this in September, and I took delivery of this drone on January 1st, so I've had it for almost 5 months now. But they promised Active Track doesn't even have that feature yet. If DJI did something like that, people would be going bonkers.
Right.
And I don't know, for whatever reason, Autel seems to be getting away with it on this guy.
But they did do that, Marcus, with the Mavic 3, didn't it? I mean, they said
Well, let me say that there's a big difference, huge difference there. They told you when you bought that drone that these features will not be available initially, and they gave you the date when they would be available, and they were available before that date. Okay. So,
right.
And the Mavic 3, I mean, they said you wouldn't get some features till January, which they actually did a little bit early. So they were upfront, you know.
They did December, Johnny, and then I believe it was early January. We got the rest of everything, and so it's all there.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to think about like this too. Like we all have other drones, you know, to fly.
Yeah,
you know?
A couple.
Right.
2 or 3.
Yeah,
six.
But if this was your only one and you are now waiting until June, like you'd be pissed. You know,
you're missing a lot of summertime flying. Yeah.
And that's another great point, is that really this is almost the perfect time of year to be flying a drone because it's not too hot, but yet it's a decent day and you can get out. The leaves are starting to come out. There's some kind of cool things to look at. Yeah, totally agree with you.
Yeah. Okay, listen, while we're talking about this story ties into story number 1. Story number 2, leakers of OsitaLV and DealsDrone are both claiming that the next drone from DJI's FPV series could be called the Evanta. I don't know that pronunciation unknown. They say Avata. They say it will weigh 500 grams and fly indoors. Photo quality will be much better than the first DJI FPV drone. It should be on par with the camera from the Mini 3 Pro. So any comments or?
Yeah, Evanta sounds like a Studebaker to me.
Right.
And yet, that age
Cadillac.
Well, the Studebaker made a car called the Avata. You're too young to know that, DeMarco.
No.
Right.
But Cadillac made a convertible called the Evanta.
No, Alante.
That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, DeMarco.
Well, he was close. He was close.
The Evanta was a bad car, man. That was a sweet ride.
Oh,
yeah. They were nice cars.
Yeah.
Look good though. You don't want to own it, but look good.
well, in fact, even after Studebaker went out of business, a company took over manufacturing that.
Right, they did.
Yeah, and they made it for years.
Just that one model. Just
Right.
that car.
What was the year that?
I think it was in the like 62
Oh no, I wouldn't.
or something like that.
Yeah, you weren't even born yet.
No.
Yeah.
He maybe.
You have
I
to-
see.
hey,
I see.
DeMarco.
Mark Fisher
Hey,
flew the
DeMarco,
Mini 3.
Just Google it. Just Google it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Google.
Okay, I got to steer. I got to get us back on the
Get us
track.
back
again.
on the tracks.
I got so okay. So we've heard Osita's roadmap from 6 months ago said there would possibly be a DJI FPV drone out this summer. I think he had July on there and a smaller one. But listen, I'm going to tie this into the bigger story of the Mini 3. Okay, if some Mini 3s aren't showing up until July or August, what if this Avata comes out in July? How soon will it be available?
December 13th.
Well, look, I'll tell you what you do. You send me all your money. I'll hold it. Then I'll send it in to DJI as it gets closer to ship date.
Johnny, I already have that drone. It's called the Johnnie Mini SC. So
Hey, Johnny, you're one of our FPV guys here. You've been flying a lot of FPV. Would this new FPV drone, this small one, be something because it has those inducted, what do you call those? The thing where you kind of bounce off walls on them. Would you be interested in a DJI kind of mini?
Yeah,
FPV
I know.
drone?
We talked about that. Of course, I know DeMarco has FPV, and it is a great unit. And I'll tell you what, that it looks like a lot of fun. But yeah, I think the smaller, scale of that would be a lot. I don't say easier to fly, but maybe can take a little bit more beating, and it'd be a different kind of flying. So what do you think, DeMarco? I mean, would that be a different kind? Or
Well, it's a cinema, right?
right. That's what I'm thinking. It's some kind of whoop,
So like you're not doing flips and going,
But it's also digital, which is going to be so great,
I had a picture I was going to bring up in it, but I can't. I can never do this stuff, right? So anyhow, they had a picture of it up there. But what kind of price point do you think this thing would come in at?
For the whole unit or just the drone?
Well, I mean the whole. I guess I'll say that the whole package or whatever, because I guess this will be sold like the other FPV drone, where you get a drone, a controller, and goggles.
So what I would say is I don't see how they could produce that any cheaper than the regular FPV drone, right? I mean, why would it necessarily be any cheaper? So
no, because the goggles and the controller are the same. The drone may be $200 less, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it's just
And with today's prices, it's going to be very comparable.
And miniaturized, it may even be more expensive, right?
Well, wasn't that? I mean, I don't do FPV, but wasn't that DJI FPV drone? Wasn't that thing kind of stout? Wasn't that thing kind of rugged?
I mean, it's pretty heavy, but I don't know about rugged if you hit something.
I mean, it looked like it was in that, because like it's made of plastic.
Yeah.
If you hit something, it's broken. Definitely.
Was it easy to fix if it was cracked up? It'd have.
I wouldn't know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Lon Denard makes a comment there about a Senate whoop, but supposedly it's still the same single camera for both FPV and recording. So no thanks, he says. So
yeah.
Hey, Brian, let me tell you the downside for me. I have that FPV, the DJI FPV drone. I've flown it twice. And I
don't recall ever even seeing you post a video on that. Did you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the thing is, I'm like you. Usually, I'm flying by myself, so I always feel uncomfortable with those goggles on, and I don't have a spotter around me, right? Because situational awareness. I don't know. I should get it out more, I guess. DeMarco tells me it's great.
Yeah, if anybody wants to see what it looks like, go to the DroneNation Facebook group. I posted the article there. It's got the pictures of it. That
Adrian, he's made quite a few videos with that thing. He chases the motorcycle or the motorbike for his nephew, rides the dirt bike, and he chases them with the. He seems to have a lot of luck with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see him doing a lot of you know, the flip stuff and all that, but I see him zooming it around pretty good. You know?
Yeah,
Well-
Brian, no, I'm sorry about Marcus. I'll say this about it. Like when you're flying it with the goggles on, you going 40, 50, 60 miles an hour, you are on the edge of your seat, but at least I am. Not relaxing. It's fun, but it's not relaxing. Whereas, you know, fly a drone, you sort of just hang out in the sky, take some good pictures. That said, it is fun to fly. I like it, but not every time.
What I was going to say is Mike, Philly Drone Life, he loves that drone. And in fact, I almost think the only reason he flies camera drones now is for his channel. If he just wants to be out flying, it's that DJI FPV drone, or so he says. He says he flies the heck out of it.
Yeah.
Hey, I see we got Mark Fisher in the chat here. And I do want to, this is down on the list here, but I'll say it now what he is. Unfortunately, Mark had to cancel the Rhode Island drone meetup for this summer. He's just been too busy to organize it and get everything done. But there's talk maybe they'll have an informal meetup where they just kind of show up and fly.
My flight ticket is not non-refundable, Ron.
Uh-oh.
Well, neither is your DJI Mini either.
Just kidding, Mark. Just kidding, Mark. I didn't buy a ticket.
So anyhow, I just wanted to get that information out there. Mark posted it today on the Rhode Island Drone Meetup Facebook group. So
He should put Captain Ray in charge of that. You know, that's all he's got to do.
Well, yeah, maybe he could be back on if Mark could get an organizer, and he could just show up and be the star of the event, and not have to, again, the man's busy. Go easy on him here.
In other words, he has a life. What the heck?
He works for a living, Marcus.
Yeah.
You remember that? Don't
Mark work?
Yeah. That was the old. He was flying with our friend Billy Kyle today.
I heard.
Yeah, he went live a couple times, and Billy Kyle was right there. So yeah.
So see, the man's always working. I tell you,
always working.
So, okay. Well, I think we, kind of beat that one. The FPV drone. I mean, how about having an improved camera? A lot of people knocked the camera on the bigger one. They said this one will have a better camera. So that's something, I guess. Anyhow. We got a lot to cover. Okay, the number 3 story. This just popped up over the weekend. The Mini 3 Pro finally showed up on the FCC ID Grant Database last week. The drone itself was there on 5/12, and the new DJI RC controller was there yesterday on 5/15. So it's now official that can be sold in the U.S. that it's got its grant.
You know what I see the biggest news there, Ron, is that they clearly have not put DJI on that covered list then, and that they can still get approval from the FAA, which is good news as far as I'm concerned.
Right, because we talk about that every time a new drone comes out. Oh, they're going to ban DJI and they won't be able to sell any more drones. And it's true. I think a lot of government, even local governments, have banned them for use. But I don't think that has come over to the consumer side of things yet.
No, but the bigger picture is we know that Congress is looking pretty hard at it, and then that new push by the Biden administration to look at drones in general does not bode well. Right. Anyway, for DJI. Right. However, let's just enjoy them while we can, and hopefully we can continue to.
Right. Okay, so that's a short one there. Okay, here's people always say we don't talk about other drones. All we do is talk about DJI drones. So here's a story as reported by our good friend Guthrie Mann, aka Gorilla Man. He posted this on the DroneNation Facebook group, I think just today. He said there's a new FIMI X8 SE 2022, a V2 version, and it's coming out on May 23rd. And it has a black box accessory port where you can do things like you can, a release valve, the drop things, and a couple other functions, and it retails for $489. So I know most of the people in the panel have owned a FIMI X8 at one point or another.
Has
a few.
Yeah. I can't wait not to buy it.
Well, Brian, that's me too. I mean, listen, I've been through 2 of those FIMI X8 SEs, and actually the first one was probably the best one.
I still have that one, and I never bought another one. I got the first one's the 2018, right?
2018.
Yep. Okay,
yeah.
I still have that one. That one's fine. As a matter of fact, all those subsequent models, they all look identical to that thing. They never changed one thing on the design.
Well, they made incremental changes. Different.
They all look the same to me.
Right, but
they look identical.
But they all have the same tilted horizon and issues with frame dropping, etc. And you know, they were bugging me. They wanted me to review it, but they didn't. They weren't going to send it to me. And I thought, well, I'm not going to spend $500 on another X8 that I already have 2 of them that I don't care to fly already.
I'm not spending $500 to make a review for you.
Yeah.
Are you out of? You should have told. Are you out of your mind?
Well, I should have said that. Yeah.
Right. No, that's what you said. That's what you say next time.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's if you want a crooked horizon drone, get it.
Brian, I'm more diplomatic than that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. So there you go.
So, okay, I guess that's at the chatter on this. We won't have too many sales going on here, but okay. How about number 5 here? Our good friends at Hubsan released a new promo video last week for the Hubsan Mini, not the Mini Pro, not the Mini SC, but just the generic Hubsan Mini. And this drone features a 1/1/3 CMOS sensor to enrich your scenery. That's their jargon, not mine. No pricing has been or release date has been set yet for the Hubsan Mini. I know a lot of people have owned a Hubsan product before. What do we think?
Well,
what happened to that other Hubsan thing that was coming out? It looked like the Mavic Air. What happened to that thing?
The Ace?
That's still coming, Brian.
Ali Shanmo did a review of that, and he's pretty pro Hubsan, and he trashed it.
The Ace? He trashed it.
Ace.
Yeah. So I suspect they kind of went back to the
because I thought you, Marcus. I thought you had pre-ordered that or was getting one.
No, they told me Hubsan.
Oh, they were going to give you one.
Yeah, they told me. They said we want to send you one of these, and so.
Did they?
No, I've asked them about it a few times, and so I really believe that there's problems with it, and they don't want to send it out yet. With regard to that Mini that you're talking about, Ron, that was always in their lineup. So think of that the Xeno Mini that you're talking about. It's the same as the Xeno Mini Pro, only without any of the obstacle avoidance.
But the good camera.
Yeah, but that same 1/1.3 camera.
Well, I thought we had that already. The SE, isn't that what that is?
No, the SE has just the littler sensor like you would get on the DJI Mini.
The cheap camera, yeah.
Yeah, I like the Xeno Mini SE way better than the Xeno Mini Pro.
You and me both, Brian.
Way better.
Yeah, I totally agree. The only thing that I will still say about that SE, and you have one, Brian?
Yeah, I have the SE.
Here's the problem I have with the SE is it's okay until you use any of the intelligent flight modes, and then it frame drops like crazy.
Yeah,
the video gets way out of.
You know what I don't like about the Mini Pro, because I finally got mine worked out. It flies now. It still does those little disconnects here and there, but nothing like before. So it's actually a usable product now. What I really don't like about it is where they don't show you the FPV until you take off. I hate that.
You and me both. I know.
I hate that.
Yeah. And what happens is you forget to start recording, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing. You can't do the set.
Right.
Come on, man. I mean, why do they have
until you
that?
have it in the air? Yeah.
Why do they have that? No other drones on the market have that, but that one.
Yeah.
I don't have one drone that won't let you see the FPV until you take off, except that one.
Right.
What's
because
they
knew it would overheat if they did.
Oh.
That's why they did that. Yeah.
Oh, it's so annoying. I hate that.
Yeah.
Sorry to turn into a bitch session for the Hubsan drone.
It's a worthwhile conversation, Ron, because people are just looking at features. If you're looking at that DJI Mini SC, features wise, it's comparable with this DJI Mini 3. It is. It's got all those same features that the new DJI Mini 3 has. However, they just don't really work.
They don't work. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus is right. If you go over the
Hubsan galore, but they don't work.
If you go over the Hubsan website and look at their product line, you think this company is a big time company. They got all these drones and they got all these features and whatever. But some of them don't work. Some of them you can't order. It's a great website, but in reality, it's not so good.
Maybe they should go in the website business instead of the drone business.
Right, there you go.
They got a lot of drones on the website.
Yeah. They do have a lot of drones. They release a drone about once a month.
Yeah, that Hubsan Ace, that's been being talked about for 6 months.
Yeah, and some real nice promo videos out on it, Brian.
Hey, has anybody looked at? Is there Saturday morning video still up there from when they put out the Xeno?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
They probably took that down.
That was
the one when it hit the curtain.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I don't know that I've ever been as angry doing a drone review as the first time I tried to fly the Xeno Mini SE or the Xeno Mini Pro. I drove clear out to the Snake River Canyon. I was right on the edge of the canyon. I could not get that drone to take off. I couldn't get it to connect. I mean, just had problems. Yeah. One after another. I was ready to just pitch it over the side of the canyon.
That would have probably been a good video.
Yeah.
No, Marcus, and I've said this before. You know that. So you're trying to get that up in the air, and in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, here we go again. Whereas people out there don't know that. And they're all excited. The family's going to take a picture, and they run into the same problems. Right. And those people who I feel for, I'm like, dang.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, inexperienced people that just want to get into it to have a good time, and they go through something like what I went through with that Xeno Mini Pro. I mean, most people are just going to throw their hands up in the air and say, screw this.
That's your last drone. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they're not in a baseball dugout, Brian, they're fine.
Believe me, I wanted to smash. I wanted to smash that damn Xeno Mini Pro, but man, everything was $600.
That's the problem. It was too expensive. Yeah.
I paid more for that than I did for my Mini 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing was more money than the Mini 2. But I got it flying now, so
But Marcus, you're under the opinion that the Mini 2 is still the best mini drone out there, right?
Oh, I love that thing. That's the king right there. That's the king.
I'll tell you, you know what? One of my all-time favorite drones is already that little Mini SC. That thing is just such a fun little drone to throw up in the air.
And I realize isn't that the Mini 2, but just a different controller or something?
It's the Mini 2 on there, and the old controller and just the 2.7K camera.
And the motors are
the Mini 2 kind of, yeah.
The motors are the same as the Mini 2.
Yeah, but not as same as the original Mini. It's got the Mini 2 motors on it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
2.7K is fine for most of us. I mean, for the vast majority of us, it's fine.
I'll put that.
The original Mini is still a good drone. I still fly it.
Yeah.
It's still good.
Brian, I've got mine too, and I don't want to get rid of it. I
got 2 of them.
Yeah.
I just sold the original Mini. Yeah.
If you try, how much did you get? You probably could only get like $150 for it or something, right?
I got 2.
Oh, 200. Well, that's good. I mean, my point is, it's worth more than that to me.
I agree. Yeah, you're right. Because I mean, especially as it gets a little older. But hey, it is a great low flying drone. Of course, the SE, Marcus, you brought it to spin up, and you had me and DeMarco laugh all the time. Not laugh, but we talk about, hey, everybody's having just as much fun. It really don't matter what you're flying. I mean, I think we get caught up in the 4K, the 8K, it's just get out there and fly, guys.
Yeah, and in that particular case, I knew we were going to be right there in that kind of confined area. So it's not like you needed a whole bunch of range or anything else. Well, that little SE was just a blast.
Yeah, and as many drones that we had up, it was better to have something smaller.
Hey, Johnny and I were drag racing.
That was a fun time, man. The meetups are fun.
Brian, remember you made that video about, was it the Mini 1 or Mini 2, where you said, like, sometimes a product comes along and just changes the whole market.
That was the Mavic Mini.
Yeah, and you
The
said
original Mini.
basically that did
changed
all those,
everything.
that basically did all those toy drone makers that are trying to sell $200-300, I hate to say it, but pieces of crap.
Right. Right. Hey, that made all of those drones obsolete.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's just in this little, the whole Flymore kit is just in this little compact little package here. It's all right there in one kit. I mean,
yeah, and one thing overlooked about that is the batteries on that never goes, never discharge. So that's a great feature on that particular drone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
those lithium-ion
changed
batteries.
everything. I mean, look at all of those companies that started scrambling, getting their engineering departments going and all that because they came out with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all went to that, and eventually Autel did. But I think what happened with Autel, the reason it took them so long is they were in the R&D phase of the Evo 2, and they couldn't sacrifice their guys to go to make one of them. But you notice all those other companies did. As soon as DJI put the Mini out, then Hubsan launched, their engineers into doing something. And FEMI did the same thing, and yeah.
Lon makes a pretty good point. He goes, the $300 Mini SC didn't fall in the ocean.
No, right. But this damn, I don't know, Marcus, what did you pay for that? This damn little orange thing was expensive.
$950, I think.
Yeah, I paid $950 for mine, and
this, I think I just bought it the other day, right, Ron? Didn't I buy it Friday or something?
Yeah, Thursday, Friday. Yeah,
I bought it Friday and it came Sunday. It was $899.
Where'd you get it? Oh, you got just the
Amazon.
Oh yeah, you didn't get the.
It said the Autel store. When I went to Amazon.
Yeah.
The official Autel store.
Yeah, I got the Flymore kit, the one with extra batteries and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, this was $899 for just that with the battery.
But like you said, this controller.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah,
that thing's $500 of the $899.
Yeah.
500 of it right there.
The thing is, it's kind of deceiving because it looks like a game controller or something until you pick it up.
But I like, what I like about it? I just like the way the phone goes in there, nice and easy. It don't have to, struggle and do all that mumbo jumbo,
And the grips, it's easy to hold.
It's a game style controller. Yeah. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, right. It's very nice. It's very nice.
Hey, the
you don't have to hold it very long
here. By watching, about 50 Mini 3 reviews from the big challenge, it seems like almost all the big features are already working. Is Mark, is that what you would say also?
Yeah. I just watched Billy Kyle's tracking video.
That was really good.
Yeah, he was going through city streets with trees all around and everything, and it did just great.
Yeah, a couple of times he was going too fast and got a little bit too far behind it, but otherwise it did a great job in the trees. And if you saw DC Rainmaker's video where he always compares it against Scudio, the Mini 3, which only has that 4.0 of what's the feature called when it goes around?
APAS.
APAS, and the Mavic 3 has 5.0, but he thought the 4.0 on this was doing a better job than the 5.0 on the Mavic 3. And he liked the way that the Scudio was better at avoiding, but it would make these crazy maneuvers to avoid, and the video wouldn't be as cinematic, where the Mini 3 actually made more intelligent bypasses, and the video was better to look at. So.
I think there's some truth to that.
So does that mean I should throw my Skydio away now?
Well, it's still the best. It's still the best tracking and obstacle avoidance drone there is.
All right, because I actually made, when I was shooting that video yesterday for the V-Copter, they have that follow me in there,
Yeah.
Like big deal, right? So, but I wanted to try it out because I never tried it over in office buildings. So I went out to the park. So I'm trying it, and I'm making this comment. I said, look, I'm not a real big follow me fan. If I want to use follow me, I'll just get the Skydio out. If that's what I want to do, I'm going to get the best of what I have to do it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do follow me with the damn V-copter.
Hey, question for you, Brian. So now that you're doing a lot of those electric scooter stuff, are you doing some follow me stuff with the Skydio?
I did one last year, okay, with the scooter, and I did great. It was fantastic. Now, this company that just sent me this scooter last week, they specifically saw that video. They want me to do that.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
That was part of the agreement of them sending me the scooter, was for me to make the same video that I made last year, but with their product.
That's pretty neat.
So they must want to use it on one of their little, their little commercial where they edit in something real quick, 3 or 4 seconds of it in there, So
charging for that, Brian.
Well, I mean, the scooter was $1,000, so they gave me that, so I'm happy right there. As a matter of fact, they sent me 2 of them because I refused the payment to make the video.
You mean
so
they sent
me the scooter, and then they asked me how much I wanted to do the review and all that. I said I won't accept the payment. So what they did was they sent me another scooter as a gift.
Payment, yeah.
They sent us too, Brian.
Well, I sold it the next day on Craigslist. Next day, I sold it.
Wow.
Huh.
Wow.
That's pretty neat.
That is neat.
So,
Okay, well, listen, we got another drone here. We keep talking about non-DJI drones here. The EXO drone with the company. They have a promo up on their website for an upcoming drone featuring a 48 megapixel camera with a 200 bit rate and 4K HD camera, 360 obstacle avoidance, and more. And they have 4 miles of this drone. Now, Brian, you just recently reviewed the EX drone, correct?
I got it right here.
There you go, DeMarco. Cancel your order.
It's a Hubsan drone.
I think Brian may be the only one in the panel that has experience with EXO.
Here it is.
That thing is.
Look how thin that is.
That's like an Anafi.
That's like the Bug 16, right? Bug 16.
That's what it is.
Now, Brian, you had a real good review with that, right?
It's okay. I mean, it is very stout in the wind. I mean, that wind was hitting, but it held up.
And the video, that had a 3-axis gimbal too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got a hold of me too, Brian, and they said, "Oh, we want you to review a drone." And I said, "Okay, I'll review one of your drones." And then they said, "Well, with all the problems in Shenzhen, we don't know if we have one available right now." They must have watched some of my other reviews.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
your stuff sucks.
Well, no, Marcus's reviews are good. I mean, there could have been any number of reasons why they didn't send it.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason they sent this to me, I believe, is because I had bought one of their other models, an old one, and each one of I made 3 videos with it, and each one of them did over 30,000.
Wow.
So I think that's why they sent this. Now, the one I did for this did nothing. Nobody watched it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I had like 90,000 views on the other 3 videos for the EXO thing I paid for. But for this one, nobody watched it. I think
now, Brian, is this new EXO as good as the old one you had?
Oh, this is 100 times better than the old one. I mean, that was 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah. That's
plus I paid. It was that monster drone or whatever. Just a
the Beast drone. The Beast.
The Beast. Yeah, it was a rebrand of the Beast. I mean, it flew okay, but it was a toy. It's a toy.
Yeah. Now I hope they send you this new one, is 48 megapixel one. That'll be as good as the Mini 3. I think the Mini 3 is 48.
I'll be honest with you. I could care less. I really. I turn so many of these things down. I don't want to be bothered with this crap. I'd rather ride the scooters around. I'll be honest with you.
Well, here's what people don't understand is that when you accept one of those drones, it's a ton of work to do a review because they all operate differently. You really have to learn how to fly them. And there's always problems with every one of them. So you go out, you do an unboxing, you do that, you film the review itself, and there's always problems every time. You're messing around.
It seems like you can never get one of these things in for review, there's something screwed up on it. So, and then of course, and then all the people, hey, you fucking moron, you don't know how to fly, and all this.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you get comments. Well, you should have done this.
It's like they purposely send you a piece of shit lemon, and then it screws all up that this won't work, that won't work, and all this crap. And then you get all these comments, hey, you moron, learn how to fly the drone. I get that all the time for these damn people.
You spend 3 or 4 days putting together, by the time you get the whole video ready to upload and so forth, 3 or 4 days for a $150 drone. I mean, figure out dollars per hour. It's about $2 an hour or something.
Right, yeah.
Marcus, at any one time, how many apps did you have on your phone? I mean, do you like?
Oh, you wouldn't believe how many. I must have like 200 of those apps.
Wow.
Thank God I got that 512 gig phone. Like 200 gig is those Snaptane apps.
And Brian, a lot of them e-bikes and stuff now have apps too, right?
Right. I don't use them.
You don't use apps?
Most of the time, I don't even talk about them in the review. Right. Yeah. I got
those are all toy. I keep the good apps in a whole different file,
in a different folder. I have my folder. My folder says good drones, and then the other one just says drones. That means no good drones. Yeah. So I have a folder for good drones. I think I got a Hubsan app in here. I should move it over to the other folder. I should move that up. Hey, whenever I make my mini videos, I always hand catch, a lot of the drones, So I a couple of years ago, I made this video with the Mini, and I would always snatch the Minis out of the air, and then you dip them like that, and that cuts the motors. That centrifugal force of snapping the drone like that, it makes the motor stop. So I did, and this one guy left this comment, learn how to fly the drone. Shut up.
Well, hey, you know what? When you put a video out there, you're gonna get all kind of comments, and you get a lot of suggestions and a lot of you get some good comments, and you get some you got to be thick-skinned.
There's a lot of
Brian. I know that don't bother you, Brian. That's for sure.
There's a lot of drone experts out there in those comments and whatever, and a lot of them don't even have a drone.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah. Most of those people don't have drones. Most of them people. I said this to. It was a guy not too long ago. He left me this comment, all kinds of crappy remarks, and I said. You think you really know about drones, but you don't know shit. Okay, you know nothing. You're talking like you're this big expert, and you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. Okay, I mean it's just like, it's hard to deal with sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta ignore it.
You gotta take the good with the bad.
Right, but it happens, man. Believe me, all the time. I mean, I got well over 5 million views now, and you wouldn't believe some of the comments I get. I've got that one video that's still just pumping out that 1,000 views every other day, that Drone X Pro or whatever. You would not believe the amount of people. The one that they advertise all the time. You think it's the greatest thing made by this military dude.
Yeah.
Like Facebook, it pops up on Facebook all the time.
That damn video I did for that almost has 500,000 views. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got thousands of comments, and these people buy this thing thinking they're getting, this Mavic Pro Mini 3, Mavic 3 all rolled into one. And
that military grade drone.
Thrower and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then they come to me and they go, well, why ain't this thing doing? I said, because it's BS. It's not real.
We just said that. We just said that. Like, we all know not to buy that, but thousands of people didn't know. Oh, look at this military drone.
I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that thing. One of my subscribers sent it to me. He said, I bought this thing and it's a piece of shit. You deal with it. And I don't know if you remember this guy. He used to be on one side. His name was Sly Dad. He's down in Florida.
Oh, Sly Dad. Yeah, I remember Sly Dad.
Well, he's the one that sent me that thing. That
military drone.
Pro or Quad Air, whatever the hell it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video almost has 500,000 views.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
Ron, real quick here.
Yes.
We want to congratulate our friend Eric Rose in the Bahamas. Looks like he just had an addition to the family, a little girl.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Eric.
Congratulations, Eric. No,
Good
congratulations.
addition.
Yeah, follow Eric on Facebook. He's always posting beautiful pictures of the
He
Bahamas.
posts some amazing pictures
Yeah.
from the Bahamas. Yeah.
Not all drone. He's a lot of land
Yeah.
stuff too with his good cameras. So
I hope the baby's sleeping at night.
yeah. Hey, listen. Let's get the one final story. We kind of touched on this at the top of the show. Just a couple days ago, well-known Autel customer support expert Ken Booth. He's in all the Autel forums. You see him in there all the time, helping people out with problems. He resigned last week. I believe his last day was Sunday. So I want to wish Ken well at whatever comes next for him. I mean, I know a lot of people. He helped a lot of people out. So and of course, everybody's worried what's going to happen now. Ken's going to say he was providing much of the support, and I don't know if that's true or not, but
He'll be sorely missed.
yeah.
There's no doubt about it. He helped a lot of people with their Autel products. There's no question about it.
Yeah, and the rumor is Autel's real short on customer service, especially in the U.S.
Well, it's impossible to hire anybody right now. We've been trying to find somebody where I work for over a year. Over a year.
To do what? Unstop toilets, Brian? No wonder you can't.
This is just a groundskeeper. Just somebody to walk around the property and pick up garbage and, do that kind of things.
Well, how much? I'm interested.
I think they were going to start at $38,000 with $1,000 sign-on bonus. And I'm like, it's been over a year. And I think we got 2 applicants.
Yeah, listen, 6 figures are nothing for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, when it gets to that point, I'll give you a buzz.
I'll do it for 75.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean,
Marcus, you wouldn't do it for $1 million. No,
I might do it for $1 million. But let me tell you, it would take a lot.
In all seriousness, do you think a job like a Autel, customer support person, do you think that's would be a decent paying job, or is that something that you wouldn't get paid enough to put up with the headaches?
I doubt it. I think you'd have to love doing what you're doing, I'll bet, to do that job.
Right.
That's just my guess.
You get a young college kid. Yeah, a couple of those.
But the thing about that job, you could probably do that job from home.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to go into an office. You could just do that from the house.
Just give everybody that calls a new drone, then you don't have to deal with
Brian, I'm going to test your theory. I'm going to apply for the job tomorrow and see if I get a phone call.
If you get a phone call and they hire you, say you need an assistant, and then I'll come and then we'll do it together.
There you go. And we'll take care of all those customers.
I can't wait to see the first guy that calls Brian on the phone that says, my drone. Oh, man. That'd be a good one.
I'm going to go up your
You ever seen on TikTok the bad sales rep? Brian would be a bad sales rep.
Somebody would call me up and say something like, I can't get it to start. Well, you are a moron, aren't you?
Hey, what's the restaurant when you walk in? They call your name and stuff. What's the name of that restaurant?
Well, there's a bunch of them that do that.
Oh, okay. No, but there's one, they that's how they real rude to you and stuff, Brian. That's how you had to be on the phone there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pick the phone up. Don't even say this cut. Autel customer, just say, "What do you want? What do you need?"
Well, believe me, I can be very nice, but I have my limits on patience on some of this crap, especially these knuckleheads that ask all these stupid questions.
Well, to your
point,
they think
I'm an idiot.
Well, often they consider you just because you put up a video about a drone, they think you're tech support.
Right. Well, I made a video about that, and that's why I said that's why these companies give us these drones to do these reviews, because we're their like pseudo tech support. Okay, just think, Marcus, of all the damn drone reviews that I've done, that Madron, that you've done, that Dave, and all these people have done all these years, all these questions that all these people have asked all of us. Okay, think about that. If they didn't do that, all of those people would be calling them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of people would be calling their offices wanting to know why this don't work, why that won't fly, why this won't bind, why this is that, and that's this.
The ones that bother me are the ones where they're just, it's something you covered in the video,
Right.
but they're too lazy to watch the video
Yes.
to see
I just tell them, watch the video. That's what I say. Because obviously you didn't watch. I'll say that too. Well, obviously you didn't watch the video.
Till the end, yeah.
Okay, so go back and watch the video, and you're in. And then I got one yesterday, and I get this all the time. Oh, this thing. I said, look, this company has been out of business for 4 years. You're screwed. Take it and throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing that anybody's going to do for you, because I still get constant comment about the ProMark. You know, ProMark's been out of business for 4 years, and I have maybe 4, 5, 6 videos. You know that one I sent you, Ron?
Oh yeah, I remember. ProMark made some nice drones back in the day.
I think you sent it to Birdman or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so I still get comments on those videos of that thing I gave you 2 years ago. People ask questions about that. I said, look, the company's out of business. There is nobody to help you. It's over. You know, nothing is going to happen. You can't get parts. Forget about it. Just throw the thing away and go move on to something else.
Brian, I got a comment, in the past month or so about a 3D solo video. I mean, like 3 years ago, and they said, well, I should have did such and such in a video to get something working. And then, I just said, I sold that drone years ago.
Right. But we keep those videos up. We have to keep them up, because if we take them down, it comes off of our, if it wouldn't come off of our total of the views for your channel, I'd take them down, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't take these things down.
True.
Believe me, I'd take all those videos down.
Stop the comments from it.
Huh?
Turn off comments. But the old comments will still be there, right?
Yeah. I think they would be.
Yeah.
I mean, believe me, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you bad enough, they'll go to your newest video and say, hey, I couldn't comment on that other thing, but because you had the comments turned off. But here's my question. Then believe me, that would happen.
True.
Yeah. They could.
They will. Okay. If they want to get a hold of you bad enough, they will. So
hey, somebody's talking about the ProMark Shadow drone was one of their first drones. Oh, Maddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I still have. I don't know which one I sent you, Ron. I sent you one or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, the Shadow was the blue one, right? The blue and
I think so.
You probably
sent me the one that
it
looks like a Phantom.
Yeah, right. Looks like a Phantom 3, but it's not.
Only the Shadow knows.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look.
Yeah. No, I sent you the Shadow because I still have the Warrior.
Okay.
It's just a SEMA X8 clone. That's all it is.
Yeah. Hey, Bob Dempsey. He never heard of the ProMark. He was in a drone back in the glory days.
Yeah. That
Straight to DJI for Bob Dempsey.
Yeah.
DJI.
God doesn't mess around with that.
ProMark stuff was 2017. Shit like that.
Hey, Brian, is the Phantom line done? Will there be any more Phantoms?
No. They're just gonna do the Mini, the Mavics, the Pros, and then they're gonna do those big things that they
enterprise
use
type stuff.
Matrice and all that stuff. I don't think they'll do another Phantom. I mean, they just added to the Phantom last year, didn't they? Add that like $3,000.
It's an enterprise Phantom,
that little beanie you can put on there.
It
looks like one of the Fez caps.
The RTK module or something.
Yeah, that's it. The RTK module was like $2,000, $3,000 or something like that.
Yeah, you can still. I think you can still order that Phantom 4 Pro V2 right now. Just
you can still get that.
So, yeah.
That's a popular drone.
I don't think they're going to be making any more Phantoms. I think that's the end of it right there. I think it's going to be this big problem when all this government regulation all this stuff kicks in. I think there's going to be some crap happening. I know. I said this on Al's show last week. I said, look, I have no idea how in the hell they're going to police all these legacy drones. I have no idea how they're going to do this, but I'm not going to sit there and invest umpteen thousands of dollars into something that right now, a year out, I don't know what's going to go down. I just don't know. I mean,
think about
it, but I just didn't.
Well, to your point, you make about batteries. They won't have to police the old drones too hard. All they got to do is wait a couple years, and those old drones won't work because the batteries will die.
Right. Exactly.
Well, and then if they force the manufacturers to change their app so that it disables it if it doesn't have a module on it or whatever, that could happen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They would have to force the downloading of the app. That's why I now have the automatic updates on my apps. I have that turned off now.
Yeah.
Just because of these drone companies.
Yeah.
So I just go and check that every once in a while to see if there's an update, or I'll hear something from Marcus or Ron. Hey, update DJI Fly, blah, blah, blah. Then I'll go check to see if I want to download it. After I find out it doesn't make your drone obsolete, then I'll download it. But I don't want them to update this app in the middle of the night, and then I get up in I'm talking about next year or the year after that. I don't want to wake up in the morning. Oh, we updated your DJI Fly app. Oh, your Inspire won't work no more. Or your, DJI Go 4 app or whatever it is I use for the Inspire. Okay, so your Inspire won't fly no more because it's so big and, this regulation, that regulation, and you have to have a FAR 107 now to use it and all this. So I don't want that. So I have those automatic updates for the drones. I have it turned off just because of drones.
Yeah, smart. And another point, if you have you talked about SEMA, if you had your old SEMA drones from 2017, you don't have to worry about them getting any updates that kill them or whatever. They don't connect to anything. So our old SEMA drones, as long as you can get the battery going, it could fly forever.
Right. As a matter of fact, I think we were talking when we were talking about that that new regulation coming in, where they're going to be able to spy on your drone wherever it is.
Remote ID.
Yeah, remote ID. Well, I made the comment of, this is not going to be as easy as everybody thinks. This isn't going to be some snap your finger, remote ID, we're all going to do this and all this. It's not that easy. Okay, it's just not. It's just not going to be that easy. You got all these legacy drones, and then I talked about you have all these transmission signals. You've got Lightbridge, you've got Starlink, all these drone manufacturers are all putting out a different signal. So this remote ID thing can't interfere with the signal of the Starlink and the what's the one the DJI is using now?
You mean that thing that
no, the transmission signal they use.
OcuSync.
Okay, so now they're up to OcuSync 3. So this little doodad that you're going to have to stick on your drone, it can't interfere with the OcuSync. It can't interfere with the Starlink. It can't interfere with the Lightbridge. So they have to make this thing be able to deal with all of these different transmission signals. It's not going to be that easy. Trust me. It's just not.
Right.
It's just not. Period. So I think some of these legacy drones are going to wind up being able to fly, because I don't see how think about it, guys. There's millions of these drones out there. Millions. I mean, DJI's been in business now for a long time. They've sold millions of these drones.
Yeah, the greater point to me is I wish the FAA would start worrying about, all these aircraft that guys are flying and jumping out of and they crash into the ground, or that thing that happened in Florida over the weekend where the guy crashed into the bridge. I think Maddie broke that story.
Yeah.
So these are real issues. But if you'd have flown your drone probably over that same bridge and somebody turned you in, you'd get a $2,000 fine. It does make sense. No, what is it?
Well, Marcus, let me. That's because the people. I don't know what people who to blame, but somebody has put it in the mindset that every consumer drone is a bomb carrying, thing. Of course, that's not helped by the war in Ukraine, because they are actually doing it over there. But that's what people have their mind. Oh, every drone that comes over there, it's carrying a bomb on it.
Or spying on me or whatever.
They're spying. Well, I think the spying is actually more of a thing because I live in Pittsburgh, and it's an old town. It's everything. Everybody here lives in 1910. Everybody here, if it's something new, they don't like it. They don't even know if it's any good or not. They don't give a shit. If it's new, we don't want it. Okay. So everybody in Pittsburgh thinks that every drone is spying on them. Like I give two shits about you. I don't care. Okay. Trust me, I don't. You see where I fly, guys. I go to those old abandoned factories on the weekend. Nobody's there. They're all closed. I fly over there, fly over these rivers and the lakes. I don't want to be going anywhere near people.
Right.
Well,
they're all thinking you're spying on them.
Well, for instance, that aircraft that crashed on that bridge killed people on the ground, killed people in the aircraft. I mean, when was the last time a drone ever hit anything and killed somebody? I mean, to my knowledge, it's never happened. I mean, I'm talking about a hobby drone or so it just seems like there's just so much overkill in that regard.
Yeah.
Well,
for some reason we got a bad rap. I mean, all of a sudden it seems like it's getting worse,
Yeah. Well, I think the media blows it all out of proportion for clicks and for revenue stream and all that. They just take a little story and just blow it all out of proportion.
Well, we had just the other day here in Idaho, we had a UPS airplane fly into a frickin' French fry factory. Crashed right into it. And I mean, it's a tragedy. Don't get me wrong. But you know what? Somebody with a drone could have flown into that same smokestack and nobody would have ever known it.
Right.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy.
Who's your great aunt, Ken?
Yeah, right. Well, I know it wasn't my car because it's still here, but it don't fly. Well, at least I got the camera. I can take the camera off and use that for something, right?
There you go.
Even though it's an old one now, it's a 6.
So Ron, man, we're going back to the Mini 3. I mean, I know it showed up on the app a little while ago. So if you had got that drone, if you didn't have the RC or that RC type controller, you wouldn't have been able to fly it anyway before today. So
unless you had, somehow DM Productions was able to fly.
But he had the controller. He had the controller though, and that's only that app fired up on a controller.
Right.
Okay.
So, but if you had the regular controller, would have got it. Anybody would order that. So now I think the drone will definitely start shipping out here any day now. I mean, that's just, I guess.
You're right. Hey, speaking of that DM Productions, I posted this on the Facebook group again here. Did anybody see the video where DM Productions, Darren, where he did the low light test versus the Nano Plus versus the Mini 3 Pro? He did it like in his, not at the Blackpool, but he did it in his hometown. They were real close to, look real close to me. What did you guys think?
I didn't see it, Ron. So
I didn't see it. Yeah, check it out. I mean, both drones look pretty impressive. DeMarco, did you get a chance to watch?
I did not see it, no.
Poor DM Productions. Everybody watched all his videos for a couple days. Now the drone's out now,
Yeah. Hey, I'm just thinking, Ken Dobo is in the chat here. His show on Wednesday, he's going to talk a lot about what's going on with Autel too. So it'll be interesting to see. He may have some insights that we don't have. So he had some information, contacts, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you brought that up. His buddy Eddie Nunes will be on our show next week. Everybody knows Eddie got the Mini 3 Pro early at the Best Buy. So Eddie's, has he's going to join us next week on the show. So be good to get pick his brain as somebody who has some hands.
I walked into my Best Buy that day, and a girl, she didn't know what a drone was. So the chance of me getting a Mini 3 was pretty slim at my Best Buy.
So he just walked in right off the street, and there was a Mini 3 for sale right there. How the hell did they get that?
You never know with those big retailers, that who knows, maybe DJI sent them 10 and they just happened to he happened to walk into the store that had one. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
They had to have only just a limited number and didn't send them out to each store. You know, only send them to East Coast. You know, 2 here, 2 there, because my store didn't have it. Your guys' store didn't have it too. So,
Marcus, did you check anywhere? Or did
I haven't, and I need to, Johnny. I need to walk in there and check. But I will say this before, just a couple days before the big introduction thing, I just walked in there just to see what the drone case looked at like, and it was just stupid. I don't even know why they're taking up shelf space with it.
I was as a Spark and a Mavic 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I said that last week. How many people are walking in the Best Buy and buying that?
Not many, but walking in, period.
Right.
Well, that Best Buy, at least mine, seems to be very busy. I mean, the parking lot is always packed, but they're clearly not looking at drones. I think they're buying phones, TVs, and laptops, maybe, right?
Yeah, I was in my Best Buy yesterday, and it was packed with TVs. I mean, they had the whole store filled up with TVs.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
wouldn't,
these TVs have come down in price so much, so drastically. Now you can get one of these 70-inch jobs for like $5.99. You know, so it's getting ridiculous.
So everything else is what do you call supply line prices, but TVs somehow survived the
Right.
shortages.
Right. TVs. I waited here, okay, for 9 months to get 2 dryers. Okay.
Yeah.
2 commercial dryers.
Yeah.
9 months they get them. And so the residents, you know, they were complaining, oh, Brian, your dryers are broke. I said, look, I can't get them. You know, and they said, well, we know the supply they're on them yachts or the boats off the shore. I said, look, all appliances are made in Mexico. It has nothing to do with boats. Okay. The appliances are just driven across the border. It has nothing to do with those big cargo ships. Nothing, not one thing. All appliances are made in Mexico. China doesn't even mess with appliances. Mexico is the appliance king. Okay.
Including your Chevy pickup.
That too.
Yeah.
Right. But now a lot of this other stuff is shipped from China, but not appliances. So that was the deal with that. So I finally got 2 dryers in. I still need tons more stuff, but who knows when that's going to be available.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
pray your major appliances don't go. Yeah.
I mean, my boss just got a car. He had to buy a 2-year-old BMW SUV. He said he wanted to get a new one. They told him it would be almost 3 years before he could get it.
Jeez.
I'm like, what? 3 years?
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a Corvette. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marcus, you could probably sell yours for more than you pay for right now.
I doubt if I could get much more, but I bet I could get pretty close to what I paid for it. Pretty close.
Yeah, they were getting 15,000 over list price now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you my Chevy Tahoe, I bet I could sell it for more than I paid for it a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can sell the Mini 3s we get in early. You know, we can
Turn right around and put them up, huh?
Yeah, there we go.
Put them up on the drone swap shop on
yeah.
on Facebook. Now, are you allowed to post drones there, Johnny?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a Ford. There's a Ford dealership right up the street where I bought my last Ford. Okay. And you can't get a car from there. They have cars, the new cars in the showroom, but you're not allowed to buy them. They're just for you to come and look at. You have to order one.
Wow.
And you'll come in a year or whatever the wait time is now. So they have the models up there, but they're just for show.
Well, Brian, I'm an old guy. Back in the whatever 70s and early 80s, that was the way it was. You went to a car dealership and you usually ordered your car. You didn't ride off that day with a car. If you bought
yeah, I know. The last 2 cars I got, I rode off the same day I went there and looked at them. But like what you're saying, oh yeah, that's the way that was back then. You know, because you had to go, do you want the Z-Bart on there? And no, we don't want the Z-Bart, so.
Yeah.
Or Rusty Jones or whatever that is.
And you had a million different interiors you could pick out and, dash colors. And
right. You want
Rusty
that Landau
Jones,
top,
that
that half the vinyl top and all that crap.
They want to peel it off after a few years.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
The Z-bar.
I remember that. You remember them tops, Ron, where half of them were the vinyl top?
The Landau. That is
Yeah, the
called the
Landau.
Landau top.
Yeah, the Landau top. Half of it was vinyl, half of it was a metal.
I could never afford that back in those days.
Yeah, that was expensive.
Now, if you were really cool, you had the little opera windows on the Landau top. Yeah,
right, exactly. I remember that, Marcus. Believe it.
Hey, forget about the
Don't
car
forget,
shows.
I'm older than all you guys.
Barry Markowitz has a 1999 Land Cruiser for sale in L.A.
He'll get it. 16 grand. He'll get it. That's the way prices are, especially a Toyota.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, it is absolutely nuts out there for trying to buy some certain things. You know,
Well,
certain
the
things you just can't
same
get.
thing goes for Mini 3, Brian.
That's what I was going to say. Try and buy a Mini 3.
Yeah. Same thing with Mini 3.
Well, you can buy it. You just can't get it.
You guys will be sporting those Mini 3s while I'm over here flying my SEMA 600. And I'll be all sad flying my little SEMA. You guys are sporting those Mini 3s.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just have to keep myself entertained with that V-copter. So,
there you go. There you go.
I'll be able to fly that.
Ryan, you sure you don't want to trade one more time?
I don't want to trade. I'm keeping
Now, Brian, people don't realize, a lot of people don't buy it because it's expensive, but you got in at the introductory price, right?
He did.
I got it cheap because I did the pre-order and I never canceled the pre-order.
And you earned it because you waited, what, a year and a half?
2 years.
2 years.
Almost
Is
2 years.
Is that the longest you
2
ever?
years to the day.
Is that the longest you've ever waited for a drone, Brian?
That's the longest I ever waited for a piece of ass for anything.
Hey, good
I
thing.
never waited for anything that long in my life. I waited to pre-order for
So
that.
Brian, what you're saying is we shouldn't be bitching about waiting 5 or 6 days.
Right. I mean, I remember, I'll be honest with you. I remember, I think some of the people I know actually pre-ordered that and then they turned around and canceled it.
Yeah.
Right.
You could order for $100, couldn't you?
I just kind of forgot about it. You know what I mean? I just, you just move on to something else. Mini was out and this and that. And so you kind of just forgot about it. And then they sent me that email. Oh, send us $600 and it's yours. And I said, okay, that sounds like a winner to me because they're selling the damn thing for $14.95.
Yeah.
So then I turned around, I sent them the money, and then I didn't get it, when I thought. So I kept emailing. I said, hey, what's the story here? Well, you're in this line and the number's coming. And then it finally showed up. And they sent it, of course, overnight, just like DJI does, that overnight from China with the DHL thing. That's how they always send me my stuff. DJI always sends my stuff to my house with DHL. Now, I don't know what they use.
FedEx is where I've always got all my anything from DJI has come FedEx.
Yeah, everything I ever bought from DJI was with DHL. They always send it to my house. Maybe for West Coast they use FedEx.
Yeah.
Maybe going all the way out where I'm at, it's DHL. Because everything I ever bought from them, which I bought about 5 drones plus the goggles and those stupid phone holding things and all that crap. I bought all that stuff from the store, and it all came the next day from DHL.
So Brian, do you still have your Anafi?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. I just don't have the heart to get rid of it. I
have it. I'm going to buy another battery because now I don't trust those batteries.
Yeah.
So probably in the next month or so, I'll probably get a new battery.
I just got a new battery, for my Anafi, yeah.
Yeah, because these batteries, I just don't trust them after. For this thing, I don't. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just watch the way they charge and the way they discharge.
Yeah.
And they don't look right. You plug them in, take off. You see it starting to drop real quick. Get rid of it.
Speaking of,
it's going to short out on you when it's flying around. Believe me, it will.
That's a great drone. That's a full feature drone.
It's still nice, man. It's still real nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
now I've been seeing that other thing that they got out, but when are they ever going to release that?
Well, it's an enterprise product. It's released.
I know, but I still don't see it for sale anywhere.
Yeah, I think you can, but it's like
a drone like that. I think you have to go to a dealership. You can't just buy it off Amazon or something.
Oh, okay.
And that thing is about $6,000, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe more than that. Yeah.
Right. Well, Marcus, when you sell the Corvette, you can get me and Ron a couple of them.
Ain't gonna happen, Brian. I'm
No,
sorry.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't sell it.
Hey, speaking of cars here, our good friend Leonard Oglesby, he said told Mike Kinney the worst car he ever owned was a '73 Olds Cutlass with a half vinyl top.
Oh, I
I
like
remember
it.
the old Cutlasses from the '70s. They were sharp looking cars.
Oh yeah, they were stylish. Leonard, geez.
Now the '73 Olds Cutlass was a nice car. Now
It was.
Poor Leonard, he got the Landau top. It was a piece of garbage. But
Hey,
hey, remember this? Hey, Marcus, remember the Landau top? Okay, so whenever the thing started going to hell in a handbasket, it had that trim that went around. Okay,
right.
Well, once that trim started buckling off and you peeled up, you'd see it was rusted under there.
Yeah, it'd be rusted to shit.
Under that Landau top, it would be all rotted out under there. Yeah,
right.
And it held the water in.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's funny because those cars were, I remember those cars in the 80s.
Yeah.
But someone who's younger than me has no idea what you're talking about. What I do remember is my parents used to buy mufflers. Like every couple of years, they would buy a muffler for the car.
Mhm.
And all the cars that I've owned since '93, I have never bought a muffler.
Right.
Yeah.
I got a car I bought brand new. I still got it. 2007 Focus. I've never changed a muffler on there.
No.
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah.
And I still got the car, and I've never changed it down. I remember people used to buy mufflers every year.
Yeah.
The only thing you'll have to replace is the catalytic converter when somebody cuts it out.
Yeah, right.
They've been doing that here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Uncle Bill had a '73 Gran Torino, best car we had, and he learned to drive on a '66 Falcon.
There you go.
Uncle Bill, you still have that Gran Torino?
Yeah, right. How about the Falcon? Yeah, '66 Falcon. I had
Remember the Ford Falcons?
I had a '66 Nova.
My first car was a '55 Ford Fairlane, 3 on the tree.
Oh,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I had a '68 Cougar with the fancy taillights. I had a '65 Mustang Fastback. I had a '68 Mustang. I had all kinds of nice cars.
I had a
And
couple
Wayne
of
B had a
Mustangs.
'72 Road
I
Runner.
was big into cars back in the day. I used to do the motor swaps and all that shit. Oh, I was really into the cars. But,
Wayne B, do you still have that Plymouth '72 Plymouth Road Runner?
I had a '68 Plymouth Roadrunner that was a nice car. I'm kicking myself forever.
Yeah, boy, the Roadrunner.
that was a beast.
Yeah. It was a fun car.
Yeah, that was a beast right there, man. Wow.
Leonard's best car was a '96 Mercedes S600.
That's probably
S-Class.
still running.
S-Class is something else. So.
Oh, and Uncle Bill, his dad sold that Gran Torino for $35.
Yeah.
Well, folks, it's we've hit the hour and a half mark, and we've turned into the car show at this point. So I think we will say our good nights. I think we cover a lot of ground tonight. I don't think we gave you any real answers on when your Mini 3 will arrive, but
Well, you did give him an answer. You don't know. That's the answer.
yeah. So yeah, no idea, folks. But we get any information, we will definitely pass it along and go ahead and get your app updated so you're ready for when your Mini 3 does arrive. Unless you're a smart man like Marcus and bought that RC Pro controller, you will not need to download any apps. It'll already be there.
You too.
That's
So-
true. Yeah.
So I want to thank our special guest, our unannounced special guest, Brian Singleton, for joining us tonight. I want to congratulate him on his Autel Nano purchase
Hey,
to keep him busy until his Mini 3 comes.
it'll come. I'll get it. I'll walk into Best Buy one day. It'll be sitting there, and I'll just grab it.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And this way, I get to be entertained by all you guys flying yours around. I'll watch the videos, and then I'll say, and then I'll get it. I know I'll get it.
Yeah.
Just like I got the damn FPV Mini and the Hubsan. I wound up buying them suckers.
You're a sucker for those minis, huh?
But I'll tell you what, the Hubsan Zeno Mini, the SE, I do like that. I haven't had that thing flew for me right out of the box without one problem.
It's the one to own. If you want a Hubsan Mini,
Forget
that's
that Zeno Mini Pro piece of garbage. Don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it. Yeah.
No, don't even think about it. The Mini SC, the day I got it charged up, had it outside, flying it all over the place, not one problem.
Yeah.
Never gave me one disconnect, none of this BS, none of this, vegetable man, and all this crap with that voices and all this. You know what that drives me nuts about that Zeno? I think I said it in this video.
Is that the one that talks to you all the time, Brian?
Let me say one thing about that Zeno. It always gives me this Mini Pro. If I do not have the drone battery completely 100% full charge and the controller battery, it always goes, there is a deviation in that deviation. Just because one battery is 99.9% and the other one's 97. There's a deviation in the battery voltage. Well, who cares? You have to keep saying it? Shut up. God, that drives me crazy.
So, anyways, thanks for Brian for being on, and also our MVP Johnnie DroneFlyer came in at the last minute and filled Matt's shoes. We want to give you a special shout out. And you've had a busy week with a lot of graduations.
Yeah, I got a graduation Thursday. Bailey had her college signing today. She's throwing a javelin. What else? I got to be at the school tomorrow for one of the grandkids at 8 o'clock. Got to be there Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. So yeah, it's just a busy week, and everybody's got a lot going on this year. I mean, this time of year with graduations, and I know DeMarco, you got soccer and baseball and softball and tumbling, and so yeah, it's a busy week. We have the Southland Conference Baseball Championship here in Hammond too, also. So yeah, I got a lot going on.
And you're building a house?
Yeah. We plumbing starting in the morning. We got the farm up.
Indeed,
so yeah, got a lot going on.
And real quick, Johnny, who's the guest Wednesday night on the Fly for Fun show?
Oh, we got Lon Denard and Matty. So we hadn't had Matty on in a while. Lon, yeah. So Lon, I needed somebody to be rude to people. So I got to ask Lon.
You could call me.
Oh yeah, Brian, yeah.
I'll do it.
Just did the update, guys.
Well, Mark is getting all updated.
Yeah,
Marcus, you don't need it. You got the controller.
Well, that's true, but I need it for my other drone.
Hey, Marcus, you know what's funny? You just tried it too, and then when I tried it again, I'm like you. It didn't show up, but then when I retried it, it came pop right up. So that's kind of weird.
I had to force it. Yeah.
Hey, DeMarco, what's going on with you this week? Or you got any drone plans? Or
he's just gonna sit in the house. He's just gonna sit in the house.
Oh yeah, well we won't. Yeah. He can recuperating.
Yeah, we don't need to go there.
Yeah.
No, just the same old stuff. Hopefully, Marcus, go ahead, Marcus.
No, you finish up.
No, go ahead. No,
I was gonna say, hopefully, I get some planning for weekend comes. But like here, we are in full gear. Like Ron was saying. I mean, Johnny was saying, football, basketball, track, baseball, soccer. So it's just one thing to the other.
I know, man.
You feel kind of like a Uber driver or something, huh?
I do. In fact, I need to start charging these damn kids. Hey, my tip. Great show.
And Marcus, what do you got planned for this week?
You know what? Not a lot on the agenda. I got a big day coming up tomorrow. But beyond that, no big plans. A lot of videos to edit. I'm working through all of our Florida videos, Ron, and then I've got.
You put a beautiful video up just yesterday, huh? Flying at the beach, and it started the whole DroneNation co-host or whatever, because you, me, and DeMarco visit us via a telephone call in the middle of the video.
He did. Yeah.
Hey, Ron, this isn't DroneNation. This is Carnation.
Well, ironically, I was in Carnation, Washington just the other day, Brian, and I flew a drone with my grandson.
Did you?
Yeah.
I bet you that
you
could
had a nice trip there through them states that you went through with the Corvette. Very nice. Very nice.
That was big fun.
Yeah. Very nice.
So, and I've got a couple of videos coming up this week, and we're kind of all just on hold here, waiting for our Mini 3s to arrive. So, but I do got a few things coming up on the channel. So I just put a little video up today on the update of the app. So, but I got some more. I got to hear. I'll give you a real teaser. Brian, you have the Autel Evo 2 Pro, right?
Yes.
Well, somebody was bugging me about it having HD. It has HDR video, but does have HDR photos. Guess what? I figured out the super secret way to unlock the HDR photo mode in the Autel Evo 2 Pro. And I'm going to make a video about it. It'll be out sometime this week. So, don't miss it.
Should I buy an Evo 2 Pro?
Yes, you should.
Yeah, trade that little Nano in and get the real Autel drone.
Right. Exactly. Hey, I did like the color though. I did look at that little bit I shot. I like the green and the color of the brick. It looked real. So
yeah, folks. I'm just joking, folks. I'm not putting down the Nano.
I did not notice that video looked over sharp. I know that video you're talking about, Ron, where the guy compared the Mavic 3 video to the. Yeah. I don't know. It didn't look. It looked like that video was over sharp. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know
didn't look like that.
I know the Evo 2 Pro is a little over sharp. I turned the sharpening down on that thing.
Yeah.
People act like it's a big deal. It's got a sharpening button there. If you think it's too sharp, just turn the thing down. If you like it that way, keep it that way. I mean, the thing is, people get so wrapped up about, I'm shooting on auto, whatever. Well, if you think a drone's got too much color, not enough color, just change the button.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyhow, we could go on for another hour here, but
I mean, me and Marcus are Mr. Auto. I like auto.
Dr. Auto,
that's what I like, because I don't like to waste 10% of my 50% of my battery doing that.
Fiddling around, yeah. So, all right, folks, that's it. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.
You should be joining us. We're gonna bring your Mini 3 questions next week, and until then, everybody got there, fly safe and enjoy spring.
See you later.
Even Brian Single.